Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we get started, I just want to say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, I got a super special build in store for y'all today. Gonna be called the two-way dimer, and with this build, I'm telling y'all, as you can see from the gameplay, we're able to ISO, play defense, and then when it comes down to the finishing, I'm telling y'all, this is one of the better rare builds that is gonna be able to get to the rim, and then more so importantly, when it comes down to the playmaking, we have the potential to get a 100 plus ball handle, pass accuracy, as well as an interior defense. So look, I just want to say thank you so much for everybody who decided to tune in today. And again, man, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And I would appreciate it if everybody went ahead and smashed that like button. Now, I'm telling y'all, before we get started with this build, we're going to be able to get 82 badges. But from here, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of how to make it. Now, we're going to go ahead and put this build under the power forward position. When it comes down to the jersey number, put this as number 1. So with the height, I'm going to go 6'10", 239 for the weight. 7'8" wingspan, and then for the body shape, I'm going to go with builds just so that way I take up the most space on the defensive end. Now we're going to go ahead and get started with the breakdown of this build. I'm going to get into the physicals first, but from here, this is going to set us up perfectly to go ahead and see what we're going to be able to do on this build. So for the speed, I'm going to go 71, 70 acceleration, 89 strength, 70 vertical with a 90 stamina. Now as you can see for the defensive end, we get box out beast on gold, also brick wall. We pretty much get every single tier 1 badge unlocked already. Then when it comes down to the finishing, we're able to get gold bully as well as back down punisher. Now this is exactly why you want to go with the weight of 239 and a maxed out wingspan, because this is going to allow us to get this badge. So from here, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the finishing. Driving layup 76, 79 driving dunk, standing dunk in 80, with an 82 post control, and right there we get 20 badges. So the main badges that I'm looking at out of tier 1, going to be gold back down punisher as well as pro touch. I like the fact that we get Hall of Fame post spin technician and then bronze slithery. Then when it comes down to tier 2, definitely going to go ahead and put on limitless takeoff paired up with fearless finisher. And then when it comes down to tier 3, the main badges that I'm looking at, posterizer on bronze as well as gold bully. Now from here with the 20 badges, let's go ahead and move on to the shooting. So for the mid-range shot, I'm going to go 73, 78 for my 3-pointer, and a 73 free throw. Now right there we get 17 badges, and as you can see out of tier 1, the main badges that I'm looking at for this build, silver amped and then also gold space creator. I'm happy that we get gold volume shooter as well. Now for tier 2, I'm happy that we get agent 3 as well as silver green machine. And then for tier 3, the main badge that I'm looking at here is going to be limitless range on bronze. Now from here with the 17 badges, let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. Alright, so when it comes down to the playmaking, the pass accuracy, we're going to go with an 86, ball handle of an 80, and a 67 speed with the ball. Now if you want to, you can go with an 81 ball handle. It's not going to make too much of a difference. But as far as for the pass accuracy, if you go anything below an 86, this is going to change the build name. So look, for tier 1, I'm happy that we get silver hyperdrive, killer combos paired up with clamp breaker. We're also able to get bronze handles for days, and then for tier 2, we get quick first step on silver, bailout, and then for tier 3, I'm happy that we at least get unpluggable on silver. Now with the 20 badges, let's go ahead and move on to the defensive end. Alright, so right here we get 25 badges for the interior. I'm going to go 85, 74 for the perimeter, 82 steal, 78 block, 73 offensive rebound with an 80 defensive. And these numbers are pretty interchangeable, but as far as when it comes down to the badges, we get bronze glove, silver interceptor. Then when it comes down to tier 2, I like gold box out beast as well as chase down artist. Now challenger is solid, but then out of tier 3, we get anchor, pogo stick, rebound chaser all on bronze paired up with gold brick wall. Now in total on this build, we get 82 badges, and once you become a starter in my career, that's going to be 86. So I'm telling y'all, the more that you grind out each season and get that extra badge point, you're going to be able to easily get this build to at least 90 badges when it's all said and done. But from here, let's go ahead and check out the takeovers. So we get the sharpshooting, the playmaking, the rim protecting paired up with the post scoring. Now honestly, if you want to get the most out of the playmaking and being able to get a 100 plus ball handle and pass accuracy, I would go ahead and pick team ratings boost. But then if you care more so about the defensive end, I would go with that 100 plus interior defense and pick paint intimidation first. Now the second one that I'm going to go with going to be limitless range. I definitely want to go ahead and upgrade my shooting. From here, let's go ahead and check out the build to make sure that we made it correctly. And I'm telling y'all, this is going to be the definite way that you want to set up this two-way dimer going forward. Now as you can see with the comparisons, I'm telling y'all pretty solid, and with the build name together, we have created the two-way dimer. And if you made it this far into the video, go ahead and let me know in the comments what y'all think about this build. Would you make any changes? And don't forget to go ahead and comment down where you're tuning in from watching today, and I most definitely will hit y'all back with a response if you do so. But from here, let's go ahead and check out what this build is going to be looking like maxed out, as well as with the badges. So let's just go ahead and say that we do buy defensive boost and then activate our takeover. Our interior defense will be a 100 plus, and that is going to be the main thing that I was focused on. Now when it comes down to our three-pointer, in takeover we'll have an 88, but with boost this is going to be in the 90s. Now with the badges, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of these, and I'm telling y'all, you can pick any of these based off your preference, but I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how I would go about it. So when it comes down to the finishing, I'm going to go with gold, back down punisher, as well as pro touch when it comes down to tier 1. Now you can change up any of these badges. For example, you can go ahead and put on bronze slithery. This is another setup that I would go with. And then when it comes down to tier 2, I like silver limitless takeoff. Now for tier 3, I'm going to go bronze fast twitch as well as posterizer. Then for my core badge, of course, I'm going to go with bully on gold, and this is going to set us up when it comes down to the finishing. Now if you want to change anything about this setup, you can do so, but I'm telling y'all, this is going to be the best way that you can go about it. Now extra badges that you can put on are going to be fearless finisher. So remember, you also do have 4 extra badges, so you can even go ahead and put on post spin technician if you want to go about it that way. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the shooting. So for tier 1, I'm going to go with silver amped as well as slippery off ball. I feel like both of these are going to be important for this build, especially that we're 6'10". Now when it comes down to the 2 gold badges, I'm going with space creator and volume shooter. Now for tier 2, I like agent 3 as well as green machine. Now depending on if you want to change these badges, you definitely can do so. For example, if you want to go with bronze green machine and throw on clutch shooter, this is another setup that you can go with, but I'm telling y'all, this all comes down to my own preference. Now if you want to change the lineup of badges, you definitely can do so, but that's going to wrap it up for tier 1 and tier 2. Then for tier 3, the only badge that I'm going to work with is going to be core limitless range on bronze. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. So for tier 1, we have a good amount of badges, especially for the 6'10 build. So I'm going to go with silver killer combos, clamp breaker, hyperdrive, and then bronze handles for days. Now when it comes down to tier 2, I like bailout on silver, quick for step, and then gold vice grip. And then for tier 3, the only badge that I'm going to put on is going to be core silver unpluckable. Now I think for the playmaking, when it comes down to 6'10 builds, we have a solid lineup out of tier 1 and tier 2. When it comes down to 6'9 builds, I've noticed the badge tiers really change when it comes down to which badges you're able to get. But I think for a 6'10 build, this is going to be the wave going forward. Now I'm going to go ahead and be sure to make my own 6'10 build in the future. But I think this is going to be one of the more solid lineups when it comes down to the tier of playmaking badges, especially for a 6'10 build. Now from here, let's go ahead and check out the defensive end. So for tier 1, we get bronze glove as well as silver interceptor. Now for the rest of the badges, I'm going to leave them off for now. But when it comes down to tier 2, we get gold box out beast as well as chase down artist. Now if you want to, you can take off some of these badges, but I think for the defensive end, I put on the more important ones. Now when it comes down to tier 3, I'm going to go with core, brick wall on gold, as well as bronze anchor, and then rebound chaser. Now we have some extra room to add an extra badge in, so I'm going to go ahead and put on post lockdown on silver. And I think this is going to set up this build perfectly, the two-way dimer. You can play defense, finish at the rim, shoot, as well as ISO, and I most definitely showed y'all that from the gameplay. But look, to everybody who made it to the end, be sure to go ahead and comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you tune in from watching today. And I'm most definitely going to hit y'all back with a response. But again, man, with all that being said, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Now go ahead and turn on post notifications. I'm uploading 6 days a week except Sunday. Now I'm telling y'all, I'm going to be bringing y'all the best content when I take that day off. I'm going to load up on the week with bringing y'all some new videos as well as ideas. My PSN is the same exact as the way as my YouTube is spelled, R1CH Sosa, and I most definitely will be able to run with y'all if you do hit me with an ad. So again, I just want to say thank y'all to those of you who supported. More so than anything, thank you, God, for another day and another opportunity. And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.